Welcome back, everyone, to round 14 of Monster Energy Supercross. We are here, the RMFantasySXperts. I am Chase, joined with my very good friend and co-host,
Christian.
Chastain. And also, too, we want to tell you, give a big shout out to the man behind the scenes, the producer of the show today. His name is Kobe Knight. He rips on a dirt bike. Say hello, Kobe.
What's up, people? How's it going?
So if you hear that voice sometime throughout the show talking about polls, that's the man behind the scenes right there. But anyway, welcome back. Round 14. We have a lot to talk about, Christian. In my opinion, one of the best races of all time. We just saw it last weekend with Cooper Webb and Eli Tomac.
Epic battle.
Absolutely insane. And remember, if you are tuning in and watching this right now, if you joined us in the past few episodes, and you know what to do, comment below. Tell us what you've got going on. We want to battle with you guys. We want to bench race. We want to hear your thoughts. One, we've got some 250 drama going already in the practice sessions.
It's boiling over.
Yeah, we're going to talk about 250s tonight as well. We're going to be talking about the 450 class. Does Tomac have it wrapped up in the bag? Is it his race? Is it a championship to lose at this point?
I think so.
So we've got a lot of different things going on here. And remember, RMFantasySX, if you have not signed up yet to play, it's free.
It's good times.
It's good times. Go to RMFantasySX.com. You create your free account. You make your top 5 picks in the wild card. Tonight, we're going to give you all the stats and info you need on the riders, on the wild card. We're going to talk about the track to help you make those picks. And then all you do is sit back, relax, watch the races, and have an absolute blast watching Supercross.
And you have a good chance of winning prizes. I mean, we're giving away 100 a week. So
100 a week plus. If you're in the hunt for one of those grand prizes,
it's getting real.
Things are tightening up. It is getting real. So we'll show you the leaderboard here in a little bit, and we'll talk about it. But we've got a lot of stuff here we need to talk about. But first, let's jump right into it with our race recap. Christian, my man, take it away. What stuck out the most for you? Because there's so many highlights from last week. Let's talk about it. Comment below. Let us know what your favorite highlight from the races on Sunday were, because there was a lot of them.
We got highlights galore. I mean, let's just get them rolling here.
Okay, well, first of all, lots to talk about. Sexton, the dude. Let's 250s. Let's start out 250 East here. Chase Sexton. This man owes, unfortunately, look, he goes down here.
Yeah, that could have been it.
It could have been it, right? And then what happens? He goes down. This man, thankfully, Garrett Marchbanks is okay.
Yeah,
reports
nobody want to see him go down.
Yeah, nothing, he's hurt, but he's going to be okay. But Chase Sexton owes that man a thank you card and some flowers, because they get the red flag, they start over, Chase Sexton gets another good start, then McElrath goes down.
He had it, really.
Yeah, he did, and then Sexton goes on to win.
Well, McElrath bumped into someone, took himself down, which is not good.
So that was pretty crazy. So it was definitely fun from the very get-go.
Yeah, McElrath's my guy, so I wasn't super pumped on that, but
yeah.
What do you do?
Is he? He is. He is your
Love
guy.
That man.
He finally shaved the head, which is finally nice. Look
awesome
at that. People got
too.
Jet Lawrence to win tonight. Jet or Hunter, who gets the better placing tonight? Jet was faster in qualifying. But let's talk about that 450 start. This was absolute chaos. Tomac here, he knew what was going on. Look at all these dudes that just blew right past all the way out to the berm. Tomac's like, oh, thank you. I'll just flat track my way into third place right here.
What has gotten into Osborne? It's like a man possessed out there, just pulling starts like it's nothing.
It is insane. Those Rockstar Huskies, speaking of those, look at Anderson. He's putting aggressive passes on Roxon during the night. There's just a lot going down here. But, like I said, it's been an absolute blast. Tomac sliding in for second place. I did not think that was going to happen, because he did the triple and Osborne did not. So that was pretty crazy to watch.
I mean, he had so many chances to just take it easy. He did not do it.
I know, but first of all, so Tomac and Webb, this battle that we just saw is one for the record books. They pass each other each multiple times. What did you guys think? Who thought Tomac or Webb was going to win? Did you guys think Webb was going to win during that whole battle? Did you think Tomac? Personally, I thought Webb had the advantage being in second place going in those last few laps, because being in second place, you can kind of see.
Lines.
Yeah, Tomac had to ride so defensively, but props to those guys for just racing their butts off.
I mean, Team Kawasaki in the pits had to be pretty nervous about that.
I know, but you know what? It was props to those guys, Tomac, and it was personal. I don't know if you heard, but last week, I'm sure a lot of you heard about this. Webb was talking a little bit of smack on the starting gate last week before, I don't know if it was the main event or the heat race.
One of them,
but he asked if those guys, Roxon and Tomac, were ready for a battle, and I heard there's some other words thrown in there that we can't say live on the air.
That's why I love Webb, though. He's just that pit bull.
But, yeah, it was pretty wild. Baggett needs to wear an oxygen tank tonight. Could be true.
Come on now.
But lastly, Kate, last thing I want to talk about, Well, you've got Webb wearing no shoes in the pits right before the race is starting. I really don't know what was up with that. Did you guys see that?
I'm just watching the race.
It's cold, it's windy, it's rainy.
I mean, can we not get that man some slides, some sandals?
Alpine Stars sell sneakers. Come on, guys.
Where
Get that
is
man a
Justin
pair of shoes.
Hill's spare Crocs?
In his
Anything.
fanny pack.
This was just wild to me. I don't know what was going on there.
But look at Justin Hill right here. Did you see the pictures they had online? The man went down and literally went face first, and he took a swim. Look at that. Howard V. Love Webb. The man is a warrior. That is absolutely true. Look.
It's a vibe, Shane says.
Shane Wilkerson just walked away without shoes. Again on today. It's a vibe.
Maybe it's a thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Shane Wilkerson, he's actually our man on the streets at the races right now. He does the social media for Rocky Mountain. So he just saw Webb walk by without shoes on. I don't know what the deal is with that, but
we can't get out of it until we see Brees going down in that LCQ.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that was one of the wildest things I've seen in a while.
He goes down right here. Look at Brock Tickle in the back.
Oh, my.
Oh, look at Brock Tickle. He's literally rolling through the whoops and still made the main event. That man was tired. Adam Enticknap barely missed the main event.
Well, he busted into Norin in like the last corner, and Adam Enticknap almost capitalized.
Look at that. Donnie G FPV says stay grounded.
Right here,
I think you're
boom.
talking about Webb there.
Look at 7 deuce deuce. Oh,
He was
so close
to making it in. Oh, man. Anyway, a lot of good things to talk about, but that's kind of our race recap. If we take a look right here at the lap chart, not too many things too crazy to talk about. I think the biggest thing, here's what blows my mind. Ken Roczen, and we got to talk about this. He starts in 4th. And what's crazy is he dropped back to 10th place.
Yeah, something going on.
While getting lapped twice.
Yeah, something's going on there. You can't discredit that. But you got to look at the boy Wilson doing big things in that main event. Look at him climb up that.
He was fast in qualifying today, so he could possibly be one of those spoilers that you need to look out for, just like our boy Malcolm Stewart. We talked about it last
I'm taking
Wednesday.
credit for that.
Yeah, okay, you can take
knew
credit.
it was
We both
gonna
put him
happen.
in our top 5.
Another burner, though, Bloss. I mean, he works us up to 11th, my wild card pick. Then he took himself out into a Kyle Cunningham while he's lapping.
I don't know what he's doing there, but Corey Aldridge says he might put Ken Roczen in 5th place tonight. And I don't know. What do you guys think? After what you saw last week, well, 2 races ago when Roczen dropped anchor and dropped way back, and then this last race on Sunday, he did it again. He was up there. He was right with those guys, and then he gets lapped twice. So I've kind of lost faith. Corey Aldridge says 94 for the wild card. It's just 7th, which
I just go back to the point. It ain't personal. It's fantasy. And
That's
right
very
now,
true.
he's not looking good for fantasy. So
No. Well, maybe for a wild card, but even 7th place is kind of hard to say right now.
Yeah.
This
didn't look good last week. But
Look at that. Stan M says he loves Roxon, but maybe it's time for him to be Dancing with the Stars.
He's moving on.
He would do good on that show.
But let's do it. Let's go through our
put
top
our results
fives.
up here.
We got
Let's do it.
Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb battling hard for 1st and 2nd last week.
Real quick, though, before you do that, while you're doing that, I just want to point out we have a very good guest caller that's coming in here in a little bit. Pierce Brown, local Utah native.
It's been killing it, too.
He has been crushing it on the 250 East Coast round this year. He's going to be joining us here in a little bit, so you do not want to miss Pierce Brown coming in. But first, let's do our results real quick, talk about some points, and then we'll get Pierce on the phone here in a few minutes.
Yep.
So there's your results. Tomac, Webb, Anderson, Zach Osborne. Where did this man come from?
The man's possessed.
The break did him some good.
Yeah, something is clicking there.
And Malcolm Stewart, who I didn't think was going to get a top 5 before the end of the year after what we've seen, finally did it.
I had that feeling. I'm glad he did. It was awesome to see it. So,
But I guess the real question is, yeah, that's right, Brock. We did make a good call on Malcolm last week. The question is, can he back that up? Can Malcolm top 5 again this week?
that's the question we're going to have to get into.
I don't know. How many perfect scores? We'll talk about perfect scores here in a minute. Let's do it. Let's talk about points.
Let's talk about how the picks broke down last week. The average score was 63 points, so way above average.
Yep.
16 perfect scores. That's 4 straight weeks. The longest streak we've ever had. We're going streaking. There we go. We're going streaking. 79% had Tomac for the win. 90% had Roczen in their top 5. Only 6% had him to win last round. So confidence kind of been fading with him big time.
Yep.
And the wild card picks are really close. Plessinger, Brayton, and Hill were all in there about the same. Plessinger took it. And only 9.8% had Stewart in their top 5.
Hey,
7% of that was there.
You and me were in that 9.8%.
I had him third, which it was a stretch, but, you know.
Hey, you know what? Things can happen.
I'm glad he made it in.
All right, so those are your results. We talked about points. Look at that. Malcolm is feeling his 250 self again.
Maybe.
Interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
He's charging.
Now, remember, as far as tonight's races go, Adam Cianciarulo, Joey Savacci, Marvin Musquin, those 3 riders are not going to be in.
Nope.
Tickle is back. Do not put him in your wild card. He is not in race shape. But now, let's jump right into it and talk about...
Track trends.
Yes.
Let's just get right into it and take a peek at that track.
All right, let's take a look at the track here. I do want to point out that the track is very similar to Sunday's track. I pretty much think they just made it backwards.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
In fact, Chad Reed in an interview during practice said that some of the jumps felt like they were backwards. So I don't know what all went into designing the track this week.
He's not going to hold back.
But you know what? I think last week's track layout was a good one. I think this week will be good racing. You got a lot of 180 turns in here. You've got that whoop section. Blake Baggett, apparently, Shane said he uncorked some sort of rhythm at the very end there that got him that top qualifying spot, so that could be really good. So I think it's a good racetrack. I think it's going to make for really good passing. I think, dude, I cannot wait for 250 West tonight.
I know. It's going to get heated.
If the Lawrence brothers are around freaking Faulkner, how amazing is that going to be?
They're all rested up from their fully clothed hot tub interviews.
Yep.
Ready to rock and roll. So.
But, track here, again, similar to Sunday, just going to be backwards. Hey, we've got our first pull-up here right now.
Yep.
Do you like racing?
The 2 races per week, how do you feel about it? We want to know. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you impartial? Do you want to bring back, what was that, JS7? So you can vote for that too if you like.
The way you vote is you just type !vote, space, and then put in their heart stats. Or, sorry, the answers that we have up there. Love it, hate it, impartial, or bring back JS7.
Josh Prouse, JS7, right off the bat. Fired it off, so.
A lot of people here are loving it. I think I love it. What's wrong with Supercross 2 nights a week?
I love it, too. I want to talk to some of the riders. I mean, I wonder if they feel like they're riding better with less practice.
Well, we're going to ask Pierce Brown about that when we get him on the phone here in a little bit. We'll ask him about that. So it should be pretty good.
A lot of love-its, though.
Yeah. Keep putting your picks in there for that. And while we're doing that, we do want to talk about practice. Let's talk about qualifying. Who was up there in the board? Blake Baggett did it again.
You have to start with Baggett.
He was fastest qualifier.
What is going on with that man?
But is he just giving you false hope for fantasy?
I don't want to think so, but
look, Wilson was back up there again. What do you guys think?
Baggett, is he safe?
Well, dude, I don't know what his deal is. If he's not hurt, from what I understand, it's not a physical thing. It's more of just
he said himself
breathing.
After that, he's dealing with a personal issue, whatever that is.
No idea what that is.
That could be taken a lot of ways.
See, this week's qualifying's tough because it's deceiving. You've got Blake Baggett up there in first again, and he's already qualified first when we were in Salt Lake. And what happened there?
It didn't translate well.
No, it did not. It did not go to the main well. Ken Roxon's up there in second. We know that man can put in a heater. But does anybody out there comment, does anybody have faith for Roxon in top 5 tonight?
Somebody was bringing up the heat. That's probably not going to help him.
Yeah, but it's nice out today. Like, today is not nearly as hot as it was.
I mean, they're getting all sorts of conditions up there for these races. But what about your boy Bloss? Seventh fastest.
Yeah,
I like
he's
that.
Doing good. Jeff Appleby says Baggett for the wild card. That's not a bad spot there. Eric Havel says personal issue being pissed off. Pissed off at what?
That could be it.
I don't know. But there's your qualifying results. I don't know. What do you do with Baggett or Wilson or Roxon? Do you put him in there?
I still am going to have a hard time picking Baggett or Roxon.
Think so?
I mean, I'm just saying you got to have stamina out there. They're doing 30 laps per race or per main, so I don't know.
Look at that. No Control's got Ken Roxon in 5th right now. Says he might not keep him in there. Mm-hmm. What's crazy, though, is I never would have thought that come Salt Lake, the first round, round 11, if you'd have told me that by the 4th round in, Ken Roxon will not be in most people's top 5 picks, I just said, what?
It's
You're
insane.
Crazy.
There's something going on, but what do you do?
It's pretty. Yeah, Baggett hasn't proved himself, says Amy Wicks. Not yet, since after the break he hasn't. So, yeah, it's hard to put him in your top 5 when he hasn't really proven that he can be up there. And it's a stamina thing, I guess, personal issue. I don't know. But there it is. Those are your practice results. Now let's jump right into it with top contenders. All right. We have got Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, Jason Anderson, Zach Osborne. What do you think? Are those the only top guys right now? Those 4 that are consistent top 5 guys.
Well,
you know,
whether you like it or not,
Roxon out.
They're the most picked. I mean, Roxon's his picks are even down this week. So
yeah.
I mean, I like Eli Tomac. Let's get into his stats. He's won 6 of the last 9 rounds. It's only 1 rounds that he's qualified second or better at, though. Didn't do that today. Tomac hasn't finished third this season. It's kind of weird, but he's about 1.2 spots away from having the 3rd best average start per main event gate drop this season. So he has completely turned those starts around, which nobody can hate on him for anything, I think, anymore. And he has the 4th best average start in standard rounds, 3rd best if you take out AC. So the question with him is he playing it safe?
That's what I want to know, and I want you guys to comment below. Let's see, William Schumann's got Tomac attack. Will Tomac play it safe? I think last week with that grudge match or that personal, whatever you want to call it, between him and Webb, I think Tomac stamped and proved his point, said, dude, I can beat you straight up in these conditions. I'm a monster.
I agree.
So with that done, with that out of the way, with Tomac saying, all right, I've proven myself to you, you're gone, does he just kind of statement season, says Brock Hall. So will Tomac back it down from here on out?
I thought he was going to back it down last race, so I really do see him being happy with a second, third at this point. I mean, you have such a huge lead. Why even risk it? I mean, you're tied with
suntan, baby.
Get that suntan. But he's tied with Dungey for most wins, or 5th most wins, or whatever. That I could see motivation. You probably want to get off that tie, catch up to Villapoto. But other than that, I mean, he could give up, 7 points a round.
I mean, Gene McIntyre says he doesn't need to risk it. But you know what? Instead of us debating this, because we're not racers, we're never going to be at that level.
No.
I mean, maybe you and the Killer Bee Monday might be there. What do you have, KX250?
The Green Bee?
The Green Bee.
Yeah.
Let's get a man on the phone who has been riding the 250 East Supercross Series. His name is Pierce Brown. He is a Utah local. His parents, Paul and Julie, are 2 of the nicest people I've ever met.
No doubt.
So here it is, Between Two Berms with our man, Pierce Brown. Pierce, how we doing?
We're good, man. How are you?
Oh, we are doing really good. Hey, man, thank you so much for calling in. First of all, let us just say congratulations on, a really good season so far. I know there's been a lot of things that haven't gone your way. You've had some crashes, but from what we've seen, you've got the speed, you've got the intensity, and we saw that first round when we came back here to Salt Lake City. You were down early, basically last place. You charged all the way up to, what was it, 5th?
Somewhere around there,
Somewhere around
he's
5th or 7th.
killing it.
But
I mean, he's fun to watch, definitely.
Hey, man, congrats to you. Tell us about your season so far. Has it been going how you expected it? What do you got to say about that?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's been going good. Probably just as good, if not better than expected. This is my rookie year, so I've been trying to take things slow and then just transition as smart and safely into the pro ranks as possible. So I feel like I've been doing that, but I have had some bad luck, some just stupid mistakes. I guess it's all learning experience, but so far it's been really good. I've been stoked on it.
Yeah, Krista here commented and asked, she wants us to ask you how you feel about the commentators jinxing you a couple races ago.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, I'll take the blame for that one, but no, I just feel like it's sick to have them talking about me and on TV. It's been a dream since day one.
Well, hey, man, I got to ask you, too, has racing the 250 Supercross class been what you expected it to be? Or is it, a big learning curve? What was it like going, making the jump from amateurs up to the pro class?
I feel like it's been everything I expected out of it. It's been tough for sure. I've been putting in long days of training since last November. So, we've been working hard at it for, I guess we've been working at it since I've been on 65s, 50s, but we've been pushing it this last couple months, and I feel like we're in a really good spot right now. But yeah, we have a long way to go. I just feel like, it has been a learning experience, but not in a bad way. I don't think. I feel like the 250 class is definitely super stacked and super deep, but where I'm at right now, I feel like I'm in a good spot to dice it up with everyone.
Well, it's been a crazy season to come into with the whole schedule, and now we're doing 2 races a week. How do you feel like that's affected you and maybe other riders? Do you like the 2 race per week deal, or
does it affect the riders physically trying to recover? Give us your thoughts on
how's
that.
it been on that?
Well, we had everyone's had months to prepare for this. So I feel like the rookie mentality is kind of gone in a way. Like I feel more like I'm I belong in the class. So I feel like everyone's kind of made a step in their riding, their training, everything, the time off. So everything's kind of vamped up a little bit. But no, the 2 races a week, I've been liking it. I mean, I was telling one of you guys earlier, but I don't know. I feel like the time for thinking in between the races is slim. So if you have, say, a bad race, you could go bounce back 2 days later and won't even have to worry about it. Or if you have some momentum going, it's just that much easier to keep the momentum going. So I've been liking it, but it's been new for me and everyone.
Right on. Well, here's a couple questions. Is it Josh Proust asked this in the comment here. Going back to the same stadium for 3 races in a row, all back to back to back like that, does it feel like deja vu, or with the tracks being a different layout, obviously different conditions each time, does it feel like just the same old thing, like you're just going back to the practice track, or does it feel different each time you go out there?
I don't know. It does feel like the same old thing, but it's nice. I get to wake up in my own bed. It's a 20-minute drive from the stadium. So
yeah, you're just over there in Sandy.
I've been loving every second of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been cool. Like the racing's been pretty good. Like the tracks have been. I feel like it's cool how they change the tracks up every weekend. I didn't expect them to do all that, but it does kind of feel like we've been stuck on Groundhog Day for a little bit.
Well, what about getting amped up? Is it weird? Obviously, it's an adjustment when you're not riding with fans in the stands. Is it hard to get amped up, kind of like what Tomac was talking about earlier, where you got to kind of make yourself remember that, hey, this is a real race, or is that different for you?
I don't think I have a problem with getting amped up, but it's just the mentality of being in the stadium with no fans, because my first 2 races, I was going absolutely crazy on the line, just hearing all the fans, and then just being in the stadium, on the floor, watching this opening ceremonies and stuff like that. That part of it is what one thing I do miss. But I did a couple futures races last year at the Supercross Futures, and to be honest, racing in an empty stadium feels identical to those future races. So I feel like I'm kind of experienced and warmed up for it. But it's been different but cool.
All right, on. Well, hey, here's a question for you. Did you watch practice today at all?
A little bit. Yeah.
Did you see the Faulkner-Lawrence drama?
I did see that. Yeah, but I want to know what happened earlier.
Well, yeah, because they only show Faulkner cutting off Lawrence when they're going down the start straight and actually clipping his front wheel. Yeah. And then Hunter went back and retaliated right after that. So we don't know what happened before that, but it should be some good racing tonight. Now, speaking of...
I thought that was cool. I mean, I love that.
Yeah, you can't let that slide.
Love stuff like that. I hate being in it, but I love watching it.
Well, speaking of rivalries, I think it's pretty amazing that we have you and Garrett Marchbanks, who are both Utah local natives. You guys grew up racing together. You were never on the same team, from what I understand, because you've been on KTMs for as long as I can remember. I used to watch you, Piers, ripping around on little 85s. That's how old I am. I used to watch you at OCA MX track ripping an 85.
OCA, that's an OG track.
That's it. Hey, I was just there last Friday, man. It's still good. And I've seen Garrett ripping. Is there any rivalry between you and Garrett? Do you guys talk at all? Is there any sort of if you and Garrett were racing the same class, he's on your radar to beat, or is it just if it happens, it happens?
I feel like if it happens, it happens. The class is way too deep to focus and put all your rivalry into one person. But no, I feel like we have had a slight rivalry for a while. I mean, me and Garrett are super cool. We grew up riding with each other, hanging out. We were best buddies for the longest time. But we just kind of moved on to different points in our career. He went pro a little bit earlier than I did, so he's been he's been in it for 2 years or a year and a half or something like that. But no, he's got a little bit more time under the belt. So I feel like I wouldn't say we have a rivalry, but I definitely do. He's like one of the riders that I do want to battle with and be I would say what's the word just compared to.
Yeah. Right on. Well, hey,
Got it.
give us your thoughts on tonight's race in the 250 class first. Who would you pick to win tonight? I know there's a lot of people watching it. Who would you go with?
I don't know. I hope my boys on the TLD team kill it. I'm not sure how they ended up in qualifying. I didn't catch the whole qualifying session, but I think Ferrandis he's got some momentum going, and he's unreal. Like his racecraft, his basically will to win is, I think, the best in like the West Coast class. So I'm thinking maybe Ferrandis, but we'll see if Faulkner could.
All right, on.
Dice it up with him.
What about the 450 class? Obviously, you're a KTM guy, so you got to be cheering on Coop there. Do you
yeah, I gotta go with Coop on this one. Yeah, he's my boy. I feel like he's got it.
Well, you get to ride with him in the practice track, I'm sure, a lot, right?
Yeah, we've been training together in Florida for the past couple months. So me and Cooper have been able to ride together, train together, and travel together and stuff like that. So,
oh, gosh, that's got to be so good for your speed and confidence.
No, it's been unreal. So, yeah, that's definitely a blessing. But no, I think Coop's got it.
Oh, there you go. Pierce Brown thinks Coop's got it.
That's who I'm picking to win tonight, so I'm with it.
Well, hey, Christian, do you have any more questions for Pierce before we let him go?
No, I mean, I just love to watch the guy ride. I mean, it was awesome to see that one charge through the pack a couple races ago.
I appreciate it.
We're always looking for that dude out there. So.
Chris Kiefer made a column and actually said, TLD or KTM, do not let this kid go. He is your future.
Yep.
So you're definitely getting a
That's
lot
good
of
to hear.
Yeah, that's what he said. So, hey, Pierce, man, hey, again, congratulations on having, maybe it hasn't gone exactly how you want to with things not going your way in some rounds, but you got to know that you're racing as best you can. You're putting your whole heart out on the track, and people are talking about how talented you are. So I think next year, you get this year out of the way, you get that experience under your belt, and I think next year, I don't see why there's any reason you're not one of those top guys battling for podiums every weekend.
I agree.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Yep. Well, hey, again, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it, and good luck with the last few rounds that you got here in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, we'll see you.
We'll see you.
Good kid.
I know it is weird. I've been seeing him at like Loretta's for years, and now look at him go.
I know, man.
Look at him go.
You used to watch him rip on 85s. It's crazy.
It's like someone said in here, you're showing your age there.
Oh, I know.
I used to be the man back in the day.
That's going to be you, bro.
I didn't even know we had that soundbite. Like, Kobe's over there just pulling out hat tricks behind the camera. I love it. All right, well, let's get back into these top contenders.
Yeah, let's talk about his boy Webb. What do you got on the man?
Oh, Cooper Webb. This guy, all he can do, he has nothing to lose at this point other than he's just got to win some races. So what's crazy is he's finished on the podium in every standard round except for his 12th at St. Louis. He did have that Triple Crown where he went down. Obviously, that doesn't count for a standard round. But if he's not on your podium, you are crazy. Look at his last 4 overall finishes: 2-1, 2-3, and his starts 2-2, 6-5.
That's insane.
So, but the question is, like we were talking about earlier, do you put him ahead of Tomac? If he's ahead of Tomac halfway right off the start at the end of the race, does Tomac still push the envelope to try and get around him? That's the question that I need answers to for my picks tonight.
I just feel like Webb's going to be a lot more motivated this round. I mean, what is Tomac like 30 points over Webb right now? He could give up basically 8 points a round till the end of the season and still win. I'm going Webb. I just feel like he's got to make it happen now. Even if it's a long shot already, but he's got to make it happen now.
And one thing we're going to talk about that Kyle Nicolite just brought up is that whoops will be a non-factor tonight, he said. And the whoops are big, but they have a really good run-in leading into the whoop section.
Yeah, he was flying through those things.
So, yeah, maybe I don't think whoops are going to be
didn't seem to slow him down a bit at all.
Gosh, man, it's so hard to bet against Tomac right now with how fast he is. But you can probably count on Webb to get a little bit better start, though.
Yeah.
That's the real thing. All right, let's talk about Jason Anderson. Who's got Jason Anderson on their podium?
He's just over here chilling.
That is very true.
All right, let's go. Last 3 overall finishes, 3, 4, 4, with starts of 7, 13, and 2, which just tells me he lands there no matter where he starts.
I'm just listening to this over here. I'm chilling.
Love that dude. He's got the 5th best average start or finish in standard rounds this season. Has not led a lap, though. Still kind of weird. And has only been out of the top 5 3 times this year. Has only led or still hasn't finished better than 3rd all season, which is so weird to me.
Yeah, we got a lot of people with Anderson in his top 3. Look at that. Jason Kyla got him in 3rd place. Nobody really has him in that 2nd or 1st place spot, though. But I think I prediction right now, stamp it. El Hombre wins one of these things. We got 4 left. I think Anderson wins one before we go home.
I hope so. I really think he can, too.
No Husky has won a race this year, so I'm going Anderson wins one of these races before we go. Does anyone agree with me?
Well, that's the thing.
Please support me on that.
That's what we need to talk about. Does him or Osborne have a better chance? I mean, Osborne's been leading laps. Let's get into his stats.
Okay. Well,
I mean, last 4 overall finishes 4, 3, 5, 5, but he's been spending a lot of time up front. He's led laps in 3 of the last 4 rounds and has back-to-back hole shots in the mains.
He's figured something out.
5 hole shots. He has the most of any rider this season. Finished 1 spot from where he qualified last round, and has qualified as far back as 17th and still finished in the top 5. Did it at A2 this year.
Ethan Allen thinks Zach has a better chance to win than Jason Anderson. Dane over there, he's got Anderson in 3rd. Man, a lot of 3rd place picks. I'm seeing a lot of people putting Webb ahead of Tomac right now. There's a lot of people thinking that Webb's got the advantage tonight.
I'm telling you.
Well, who do you put ahead? Do you put Jason Anderson or Zach Osborne? Who would you put ahead of the one? Who beats who tonight?
I'm gonna put Jason Anderson ahead of him. I mean, he's a past 450 champ. He passed him last week. Osborne, he's been up front, but I mean, he hasn't stayed up there the whole race. So.
Man, Moto Life just told me to save the drinking for race time with my prediction about Anderson. Watch me prove you wrong.
No, we're seriously keeping Kenny in your podium, somebody said. I don't know. I can't do that.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's not personal.
Set wild card at best. Mm-hmm. And I hope he proves me wrong.
Yeah, nobody's going to be mad about
Kenny
that.
And everything. Yeah, I hope he does. But there you have it. Now, Kobe, should we do our next poll now, or do you want to save it for later?
Let's get it going.
All right. Our next poll, who's going to win tonight? It's that simple. We're going to throw it up here on the board.
Let's settle it right now.
Let's settle. What do the fans think? So, again, all you got to do is just exclamation point, put who you think's going to win, or space, exclamation point, vote, space, put the name of the rider you think's going to win.
Just more shocked Proust didn't put JS7 in there somewhere.
He could do it.
He's always throwing that man in there.
Anyway, of those 5 riders, who does have the – oh, my gosh, Tomac just straight to the top with 3 votes already.
I mean, what was it, 80% had him to win last week?
Was it really? It was over 80%, wasn't it? Oh, my gosh.
Let's see where it lands this week.
Got a lot of people tuning in doing that. So, man, if Tomac – man, I really don't know what to do tonight between Webb and Tomac. I want to give the edge to Webb because it starts, but Tomac's starts have been good. He's had 1 bad start. Even of all the heat races and the main events so far this year, Tomac really hasn't shown to have – it's almost like he's cured the bad starts. And
nobody's hating on his starts.
And he's cured the mental brain farts halfway through a main event.
I mean, he started in the top 10. I mean, last time he didn't was round 2.
Yeah, and he's the only guy we've seen that will charge back from that place.
I just wonder if his team gave him the talk. Like, dude.
Look at that. This is closer than I thought it was going to be.
Tomac and Webb. Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, I think a lot of people are going kind of what we're saying here, that Tomac's going to play it safe. Webb's motivated.
You think so? You think Tomac's at this point, yeah, he just tied Ryan Dungey or passed him?
He tied him.
He tied Dungey for most wins in Supercross. What?
3 behind Villapoto.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he's making moves.
You know what blows my mind, though? He's 3 behind Villapoto with no Supercross titles.
Well, for now.
If he doesn't win this Supercross title this year, he will be the greatest rider of all time to not win a title.
We've all seen him go down late in the season. I say don't even push it. Get somewhere in the top 5 and just
home and get a title. But
exactly.
I think Tomac rides better when he's pushing the envelope.
Well, he got a taste of it last week when him and Barsha bumped up in the heat.
Yeah, but that was a heat race.
I mean, he was just blasting people.
Yeah, but that was Barsha being stupid. He didn't do anything to Barsha. Barsha's just bitter because can't get a top 5.
I'm just saying it could all fall apart this quick.
Look, Tomac makes a clean pass. Nothing here. Chops the line. We're all good. And then here's Barsha.
Well,
What is that?
I'm just saying it could all go downhill that
Oh,
fast.
my gosh. Barsha, you
So,
are losing fans
play
faster
it
than
safe.
you drop positions in a race right now.
Do not lose the championship.
Oh, driving me nuts.
They both have stuff to lose, all right, this year. So keep it clean is what I'm saying.
Rodrigo
Looks like everybody
Salas
agrees.
Olivares is back. He says, no, Christian, Tomac's going for 10 wins in one season.
I mean, what's 10 wins in a season if he takes himself out in one round
A
and
lot of bonus
loses
money.
a championship?
A lot of bonus money.
I'd rather have the championship than 10 wins at this point, especially since it's been so long. Maybe early in your career you can push it a little bit. He's got to get that dub,
Look
that
at
championship.
Not a lot of Barsha fans out there. Yeah, the Friday 1-1X asked if Barsha actually had fans at the beginning.
Don't even go
Ouch,
there.
yeah, come on.
Barsha's my guy.
He is?
I love Barsha. Anyone that's causing drama out there, I tend to like him. So.
All right, well, those are your top contenders. That's the conversation. Bam Bam needs to go to KTM. I don't think that's going to fix anything. You can't blame the bike entirely for Bam Bam doing that. But now let's talk about it, and this is going to be a tough week because the wild card and weekly spoilers, they're all kind of in that same boat. So here it is, weekly spoilers.
With the wild card being so close to the top 5, wild card 7th this week, it's really hard to, split these dudes up. So I say we just kind of debate on who are you leaning more towards wild card, more towards top 5.
Look at this premix Utah just put. He's afraid to admit Bam Bam is his favorite.
No, you can't shame the man. Don't be ashamed of that. Get out there. Get your Barsha jersey on.
Dean Wilson could be a spoiler. You're absolutely right. Who said that? Rob 112. So, look, these are your riders that could crack the top 5. We just saw Malcolm Stewart do it for the first time last week.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Which was awesome. And it is a bummer, though, that there was no fans to celebrate that. Or even his heat race.
I never even really
Could you
thought
imagine
about it.
how loud that stadium would have been
yeah.
when he passed Webb to win that heat race?
Mm-hmm, that would have been amazing.
It would have been like winning the main event for him.
Yeah. I mean, everyone likes him. There's nobody that doesn't like Mookie. So
Sean 625's got Mookie in the wild card.
his qualifying was back there. I'll get into that. But just let's rank them. Best chance to top 5 here.
All right, you rank them. I want to see what you got.
I have
how
to
would
go.
You do these guys?
Have to go Malcolm Stewart. I mean, he just barely did it. So we're going Malcolm. Dean Wilson's been just lurking around there.
Baggett just qualified fastest again.
Baggett
Does he have
qualified
stamina?
fastest. I'm kind of with you. He's been fading way too hard for me to really feel safe about him.
Luke Poggi or Poggi's got him in there as the wild card.
Oh my gosh. But let's go Malcolm. Let's see what we have on Malcolm here.
Okay.
His overall finishes in Salt Lake 5, 7, and 11. So he's getting better every round. It starts at 6, 20, and 12.
He needs to start. Well, remember that 20th place start, he went down and charged all
early,
the way
yeah.
back up
Yep.
to well inside the top 10. So
That's what
he's
made
got
me
this
high up
lead.
on
What
that.
are you talking about?
He finished one position better than where he qualified the last 2 rounds. That's what I don't like is qualifying today. So he might not be in my top 5.
Where was he at today?
He was
He finished 7th.
8th.
He was 8th.
8th
Yeah.
back in the qualifying. That kind of made me worry. I still like him up there.
But he's a gamer when the night races roll around. And you got to remember, too, that those first through probably 10th to 12th places in qualifying were all probably within a second of each other.
Yeah.
So
And
they were all super close.
I mean, earlier in the season, if you pull stats, he did look more like a wild card where he's finished 7th 4 times this season. But we got AC out. He's hot right now.
Okay.
I
And
see him doing better than that.
Dean Wilson, he qualified really good today as well. He's up there in the top 5 in qualifying. This man needs to start more than anybody.
Yes.
It's his last 3 overall finishes were 6, 6, 10. He is right on the cusp, but his starts are terrible.
Yeah.
Actually, he got a 5th place start on last Wednesday. Couldn't really do much with it. Rolled around and got 6th. And then he had a 14th before that. So that is the Achilles heel for this man right now.
I used to be the man back in the day.
If Wilson could get a top 5 start like he did last Wednesday,
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get the greatest of starts last week and fought up to 6th. So someone else has issues. Who knows? He could be up there.
all right. And you really put Aaron Plessinger. Yeah, that's right. Aaron Plessinger ahead of Barsha there. I don't know. Those two just have not been having the season I expected when we came back from this break.
No, we thought,
After how Aaron Plessinger looked at the final round in Daytona,
yeah, he was just getting better and better. I don't know what happened last week. Maybe it wasn't muddy enough for him, but it didn't look
Look
well.
at that. Nick Chavez says, let's go, Earl.
Earl.
Yeah, Rob's RMZ 450. I don't know about 2021 contracts yet. We'll find out about that stuff in the offseason, but that's one of our favorite things to talk about. So, Aaron Plessinger, you would vote ahead of Justin Barcia. I will agree with you that. But my opinion, I think for whatever reason, Blake Baggett was looking snappy in practice today.
You think he got it figured out?
I think I'm going to put him second most likely to crack the top 5. If you look up here at our poll, who is your wild card pick? Because it's 7th place this week.
Yeah, don't take our word for it. Let's see what you guys say.
We got Justin Brayton, James Stewart.
Prowse is just he's out of control.
He loves it. Roxon, Wilson, Barcia. Of those riders up there, who do you think is most likely to get 7th place tonight? Yeah, it could be. It could be Lindsay. It could be Brayton. Mr. MX Racer guy, J-Law. I know Mr. MX Racer guy. He might be somebody I work with.
Hey, Barcia, there better be some votes for him up there. I mean,
oh my goodness.
Look at his last 3 overall finishes, 988 this year.
Look at that. We're getting votes for Ken Roxon to be in the wild card. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
I think it's a.
Speaking of, where did I put
I've heard crazier things. Get your boy Martine up there. What are you doing?
No, Martine is actually. You know what? Martine's
He's in there.
Martin!
There we go.
There it is.
No, Martine's got to be mentioned at least for the wild card.
Justin Hill, do not put that man in your wild card position. That guy, I don't even know if he raced a dirt bike. He is having a little girl, though. Congrats to Justin Hill on his baby that he's going to be having. Look at that, Nick Chavez Martin. I love it. We got some people voting for Stewart. Hey, do you think if James Stewart came back for a race, do you think he could qualify?
You got
suntan, I guarantee he could qualify. He can put down a fast lap, no doubt.
You think so, though? Right off the couch? I think he needs some time. Maybe a week. Maybe a week. I
don't know.
We got a lot of Davalos people there. Wilson.
Look at Davalos' last 3 finishes, 6, 11, 8. I mean, the average has to be somewhere around 7th.
It hasn't
so
been
for the
that
wild
bad.
card, not a bad pick.
We got Brayton. Man, a lot of Roxon went from one of the top contenders to a wild card pick in 7th place.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling high up on Roxon right now.
Who Jeff Appleby says that Stewart could definitely get in there. I don't know. I don't think he could, but if he had a little bit of time on the bike, I think he could. Isn't he training Chase Sexton right now?
Yeah.
That's what I heard is Chase Sexton is training with James Stewart.
And that's never bad.
Oh, man, that's pretty wild. So who's winning right now? Our poll, we got Dean Wilson taking the vote for wild card.
Dean Wilson.
That's not a bad pick, our pick for wild card.
I mean, where's he been? Last 3 overall finishes, 6, 6, 10.
He's right there.
Yeah.
He's right there.
I like Wilson in there.
I like it. Well, there you have it. That is the weekly spoilers, and we'll just call it the wild card watch because we just talked about it because they're all right there in that same spot. It's going to be fun, though. Predictions for the championship. Does Tomac just have this in the bag?
I think
is
so.
It done?
I mean,
is it
play
it
it safe at this point. Don't push.
All right. I'll give that to you. What do you guys think? Give us your top 5 picks right now in the comment section. Who's in that hunt? Who's comment if you won a weekly prize this year? Are you in the hunt for a top prize?
I think we were talking about JS7. I like premix and pedals. A little extra weight just means more traction.
Look at that. So Maverick224 says Martin qualified 9th. He is ready. Rodrigo, he's got Tomac, Zach Osborne in 2nd, Cooper Webb in 3rd. I'd like to know why you're putting him back in 3rd. Anderson, Roxon, Dean Wilson for the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. We got Tomac.
A lot of Tomac.
A lot of Tomacs. I'm seeing all Tomacs right now for the win. Does anyone have Cooper to win tonight? We talked about that poll. He was right behind him. There's a Webb guy from Caden Hopper. He's got him in there. What are you going to do tonight? I mean,
we got a celebrity in here. Eric Havel's is 8th overall of all the fantasy players, so maybe he needs to put his picks down.
Oh, my gosh.
See what he's doing.
Well, hey, while people are putting in their votes, you know what time it is for you and I.
It's time to lock them in.
Let's do it. All right. I think you had the honors last week, so I will do it now. Keep reining in your votes. Cooper Webb good for the championship from Howard V. How do you figure?
Go. Take that bonus money and get that man some sandals.
Some Crocs.
Get some camo Crocs.
Oh, man. You know what? Oh, jeez. Cooper Webb first. Tomac second.
Hold on. What made you do it? What made you do it here?
If I'm Tomac right now, if Cooper Webb's ahead of me, I proved my point last week or on Sunday. I'm going to let you take the win at this point. unless Tomac wants to wrap this thing up a week early and he just wants to win. And
maybe
just get
he
that
does.
points
We never really
cushion.
thought about it. Just eliminate him mathematically early.
Oh,
so
man.
I don't know.
All right, well, I'm going Webb, Tomac.
Chase is really day drinking, this guy says.
Ruben.
Oh,
I wish I was as big as him.
That's right, premix and pedals. I am the man. Take that, Ruben. Okay, I've got Anderson in third. Here's the gamble that I'm going to take this week. We saw Malcolm crack the top 5. Well, gosh dang. I'm going to go Osborne 4th, Baggett 5th, and I'm going to go. Did you take my Ken Roxon number plate, dude?
Oh, yeah, he's over here. You're going wild card with Kenny.
I'm going wild card with Kenny. Those are my picks. They are locked in. What do you got?
All right. I'm going to stick with what you got here. I like Webb for the win. Tomac, we know he's the fastest guy out there, and if he wants to push it, he's going to pass somebody. It all depends on how risky he wants to get.
Look at that. Rocky Mountain is against me. They're asking to ask how many points I have with LOL at the end.
More than I do. It's been
My
a
own
rough year.
company's against me right now.
But I'm going Jason Anderson second. Tomac coming in with a solid third. It's time to quit betting against Osborne. If you're not picking this man in your top 5, you need to reevaluate things in your life.
All right.
So I'm going 4th with Osborne. Baggett, we love the man. I just can't do it.
Even like right now, dude, I'm struggling a little bit.
Hand me some plates here.
What do you want?
Let's see
I
what
got,
we
a
can
lot, I
work
got all the
with.
plates you can handle. There
Let's
you go.
see. 5th place.
Man, Nicholas Dashley is killing it with 648 points.
I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go with Wilson. Get 3 white bikes
Swift
in there.
lines, you've got Osborne for Wilson.
And where's Brayton? Brayton's my wild card.
JB10 is your wild
Too much
card?
pointing to that man in the wild card spot.
All right. All right.
So here we go. I'm going to Husqvarna's all day. Webb for the win. Let's go.
Oh, Amy Wick says she can't listen to you now because your Barsha love has ruined it for her.
It's just the way she goes.
How do you feel about that?
I love Barsha. I've always loved Barsha.
Wow, look at that. Donnie FPV has got 765 points. He's got to be up there in the top 10 or close.
No, people are doing good. I mean, the
gosh.
race at the top, Caitlin is still leading.
Oh, my goodness.
We might have our second ever
Kobe, do
women
we
champion.
have the picture of the leaderboard up there? Can we show that real quick?
Got that.
There. Ooh, look at that. Caitlin, she was what, down in like 3rd or 4th place?
Yeah, she's been steady
She's
climbing.
moved up. 875 points. One day, I could not ever be up there. That's so good.
I think that's more than twice what I have, but
Oh, man.
do?
K-Dub, a guy that was up, first place when we started the last 7 rounds at Salt Lake City has dropped out of the top 10. That is how
Yeah.
fast things can change. But he could also be back up there in the top 10 after this weekend.
if Two Smoker wins
Oh, it's
the
D-Dub-Dub.
two-stroke, I'm going to lose
D-Dub-Dub.
it.
He's there in 7th place now, but he was up there in 1st.
I will lose it if Two Smoker takes 2nd overall. I mean, that's just a sign from the gods.
That is
what
meant
that
to
is.
be. Two Smoker, I hope you're watching the show, and I want to see you comment.
Yep.
Are you stressed out right now?
A lot of people saying they're stressed in here.
I know. John Bork, you're right. 5th place is really hard to choose. Well, listen, people.
Trey Kennard top 3. I'm with it.
Oh, my gosh.
We all know if he throws that leg over, it's done.
He's still a test rider for Honda. I guarantee you Trey Kennard could come back and do top 10.
Guaranteed.
Why is he not a fill-in rider for Honda? Well, I guess nobody's hurt, but.
I mean, yeah, that's all I want to see is him out there. So
Oh, man. No, you cannot buy points, Moto Life. Nice try, though. Well, look,
gosh.
it is 4:18 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which means the races are starting in 42 minutes.
Yep.
So you've got 42 minutes to go to RMFantasySX.com and put your picks in, your top 5, make the wild card. And remember, even if you haven't started playing yet, if you go put your picks in tonight, you have the chance to win a weekly prize. We do 10 each week plus 90 Rocky Mountain HVMC gift cards.
Yep.
So it's a blast. You can
You
join
got
our
suntan,
group.
baby.
But speaking of prizes, let's get right into it. Here are the weekly prizes. Christian, what do we have up here on the board?
Well, the top scorers this week are going to get, first one's going to get 3 sets of Battlecross tires from Bridgestone with Supercross 3, the video game. Second place, Bell Moto 9 Carbon Flex helmet. Then third place from prizes from Fly, then 100%, Pro Honda, Cherubi, Skoshi, Works Connection, Motul, and Fox. And then, of course, 90 Rocky Mountain gift cards.
Oh, I'm laughing. Sorry, Ruben just said I have 42 minutes to sober up. He's not letting it go.
Dude.
He thinks I'm over here drinking. So those are just the weekly prizes. Now let's talk about grand prizes. We talked about Two Smoker there on the leaderboard right now, already in the top 10. Here's why you play Planet Fantasy from the very beginning. First place, you have the chance to win a KTM 450 SXF Factory Edition race prepped. It is decked out. We give that bike away and the 250 right here at Rocky Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
We make a good deal out of it. So second place, you get the KTM 250 SX, bringing Two Smokes back. And then third place, one of my favorites, the Monster Energy Cup VIP trip. Fourth place, you've got tires for a year from
That's
Dunlop.
awesome.
That's a pretty good one.
I mean,
Alpine Stars is in the game.
Just fill the garage up with them babies.
We've got some Tusk Impact wheels, the Honda generator, gear package. Again, we got more video games, 4K console or 4K TV and console, Motion Pro tools, and an Oakley spending spree.
Hold on, Ryan. I'm telling you, Big James could throw a leg over a bike and still get a top 5. That'd be a sight to see. Shout out to Ethan Allen. 1220 here, watching from Egypt. Hey, thank you for your service.
Oh, my gosh.
Pretty awesome.
Look at that. Germ. 3308 says, hey, Chase, I think the races being so close together has taken a toll on Roxon. I don't know if it's the races being close together or if just the man really does have some sort of respiratory
I mean, it could be a
illness.
combination of all of it. The elevation,
It's not
short
helping.
turnaround.
Whatever underlying health condition he had,
Yeah.
that the elevation's only going to make things worse if you already have something coming in.
Yep.
Because
no
av
doubt.
riders have talked about racing at 5,000 feet is a lot different than racing. Just look at the bikes.
Yep.
The 250 class, they talk about how down on horsepower their bikes are. That's because they're starved of oxygen. It's no different for the riders. If you're not used to it, you got to get used to it. You have to get acclimated. And apparently some riders like Baggett and Rox, some of these guys are just having a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah. And Swift Lines, can someone make up 200 points? Oh, definitely.
Yep.
I mean, right now we have the last round scheduled to be a double points. Anything can happen that round.
And
I mean,
your
we've
lowest-
seen the
is
top 10 just completely
Is it
flop.
2 lowest rounds or the
Yes, and your 2 lowest rounds will drop. So if you've been playing all year, you're going to lose a couple points. But oh, that Tomac laugh is epic, dude.
It's evil is what it is.
No, if you're 200 back from the leader right now, you are definitely in the running for a grand prize.
All right. MX Racer guy calling me out. He said it's only 4,000 feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all the same. Let's get up there.
Close. Anyway. Well, hey, everyone. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in this week to watch the show. We love hearing your comments, interacting with us. We like to bench race with you guys. So remember, 422, that means you have 38 minutes to get over to RMFantasySX.com and make those picks. Have an absolute blast watching Supercross tonight because we are going to. And remember, we're doing these shows all the way through the end of the year, right after qualifying. Just go to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel. You can hit the notification button on the fantasy site.
Yep.
Hit the calendar notifications so you do not forget to get your picks in.
Yep.
And also pay attention to what time the races are starting because they've been starting at different times basically every
it's
race.
been all over the place. If you're not on it, you can get stuck with rollovers, lose your chance at a weekly. So.
Yep.
And a lot of people asking our points. How do you join our league? Go to the RMFantasySX site. Go to browse groups, search RMFantasySXperts. Join up there. I think it might be the biggest group in fantasy right now. You can see how you're stacking up for us. Just look way towards the bottom if you need to see me. It's been a bad year. So I guarantee you have more points than me.
Even like right now, dude, I'm struggling a little bit.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. Well, anyway, everyone, again, thanks for tuning in. Join us coming up Sunday, again, right after practice. I am Chase.
I'm Christian.
We'll see you next time.